What do I have for a possible cold open?
Desert Warrior.
Oh yes. Um, this is I'm guessing it's. I saw your hands go to your keyboard, so you don't know what this is. This is a movie funded by like Saudi Arabia because they're like
Oh, good.
they're
Okay.
they're pushing to be all like there's some term for it. It's like a like cultural like media push to just kind of make them they're Saudi Arabia really wants like the rest of the world to like think they're cool now. That's like
Yes.
with the Riyadh Comedy
Festival.
Festival.
Yes. Yes.
And so this is their big. I think it's a big. I want to say like 150 million was like the budget or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like absolutely bombing because like I literally like hadn't heard about it until it was out, and I feel like the only reason that like it stuck with me is because of that context. Like that title is so generic. It's such a throwaway title.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I've noticed more movies have had simplistic titles like that where it's almost just like the genre of the movie is the name of it now. Where it's like, oh, dude, did you go see Action Movie this weekend? It was great. Glenn Powell is so charming. Like, it's like,
yeah. I do like that. And I mean, obviously, I get why they're doing this because they're trying to be universally appealing, so they know that if they cast famous actors,
bro, we don't have slaves. Just be chill. We don't have slaves. We're cool. We make movies.
Yeah. Even we cast Ben Kingsley in Middle Eastern roles, and we're Middle Eastern.
Oh, Ben Kingsley, what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like supposed to be 7th century. Okay, so it's really old. This is I was gonna say I don't know if it's like history or I guess it technically is, but I feel like you go back enough and it's like history just becomes mythology anyways. Even if it is like historical, it's like 7th century. It's like this is 7th century. So you're like 600s. Like ancient Rome stuff. It's like the actual like factual information that we have is so few and far between that it's like, yeah, you know that most of the stuff back then is most of the history of stuff back then is pretty made up. A good deal of it is, yeah. This is what we think happened based on this guy's face being on a coin.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because I feel like the Saudis are also trying to get into video games too. Like they're trying to like worm their ways into like facets of American culture. Like do they own something? Didn't they buy a video game company?
Did they?
Like I think they hold like a universal share in something. Like EA or Epic or like one of those big video game producers. I feel like one of them is just flush with Saudi money. I think they're buying like smaller companies. Like there's an article on Kotaku that's like they bought Moonton Games for $6 billion. I think a lot of it's just like mobile games, which you know.
Yeah, it says Savvy Games Group.
Yeah,
but one of their products is Pokemon Go.
Whoopsies.
I mean, I play it, but I will say I've never put a fucking cent into that, and I never will, and it sucks. It's a bad game. It's just an easy one to spend a couple minutes on your phone.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Do people even play Pokemon Go the way that you're supposed to anymore? Because the whole idea of Pokemon Go when it came out was like it's an alternate reality game where you go out with your friends and you catch Pokemon on your walks and you go because like when I played it like everyone else in 2016 And like, yeah, we walked around like the college campus and we were all just like looking at our phones and, oh shit, there's a Vulpix, gotta go catch it, like that kind of thing. But now I feel like it's like you just go to Pokestops and you just do that.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, there was here in town there was I would say we had like what I felt was like the last bastion of Pokemon Go players, because I would see people like well after, like, again, like I played and you know, like we have a lot of friends that still play, but it's mostly like you just kind of like I just kind of do it if I'm going to the store or whatever, or, you know, I just go on for a couple minutes or whatever. And they did add they added some like more functionality for like playing, I guess, from home, which sort of defeats the purpose, but it started around like with COVID. They added a lot of stuff for like remote passes where you can like use a pass to like remote into another place, like a gym or whatever.
Like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. But anyways, there was a group chat for like Pokemon Go in town, and I would see people like in groups, like walking downtown whenever there's like a raid day or whatever, like and I thought, like, well after you would think you'd see anybody doing that, but I haven't seen them the last couple years, like, but they were still doing it like post COVID, but I would say the last like 2 or 3 years I finally started seeing them like slow down. Or I don't know if I've seen any really, because before it was really obvious, because you'd see like half dozen people or so like in a group, and they'd all like have a phone or so you would know. It's very obvious. There's like multiple, and it's all the people like that you wouldn't think would be in it, but I guess it's because of that like community aspect. It's people who like you know, enjoy the community aspect part of it, which is, you know, part of the game's goal. But I remember there was like middle-aged ladies who like probably had never played Pokemon before in their lives, and they would have like 2 or 3 phones with like maxed level like characters on
wild.
Them. What the fuck, man? Yeah.
I mean, I feel like mobile games like that are like crack cocaine for older ladies, though. It's
true.
It's like shit like Candy Crush, you know, or just like those kind of really quick, easy ones. Like, doesn't matter what it is. If it's like sort of like a fairly idle game that they can like look at for a few seconds every day, they will do that shit.
True. Yeah. No, that is a good point. It does kind of all make sense. It all comes together. Well, speaking of middle-aged people doing stuff that they should have given up in their youths.
Yes.
I'm talking about us.
Yes.
Welcome back to another episode of There Will Be Blood, ladies and gents. I am your co-host, TJ. This is episode 210, and I'm TJ, and with me as always.
As always, I'm Nick, and you're losing your brain to Alzheimer's, old man. You're losing it.
Yeah. And as always, we watched a movie this week. It being Dud Week, we watched a dud movie, or is it a dud? We yeah. Man, I am spiraling already. Wow. Anyways, the movie is White Men Can't Dance, or Daddy Can't Dance, from 2012, directed by Peter S. Vinal. It is about a guy who's going through a lot of changes in life. His dad passes away. He finds out his daughter having like kidney failure or something like that. She needs a new kidney. Really big, expensive treatment procedure, and he loses his job, his office job, so he needs to go back to his roots as a street break dancer and compete in a dancing competition to win the remaining money that they need to pay for his daughter's surgery. Very, very simplest, you know, it almost sounds like a parody of like a plot of this movie. It's like, oh, he's, you know, there's the competition with the money that they need to, although I will say it did avoid, like, it wasn't like, oh, we need this much money. Oh, here's a dance competition for exactly that amount of money. At least it avoided that, I guess. So, you know, that's neat. And yeah, this, like, probably most people who know about it, I saw it in the Drew Gooden video originally, and it intrigued me. I saw that probably around whenever that came out, which is probably a few years ago. So I barely, like, I didn't really remember, like, basically anything about it. So it was kind of cool. Like, I'm glad that it was like a pretty fresh watch, despite him, I'm pretty sure, going over like everything in it.
Yeah, for the most part. We watched the video after we watched the movie.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to, but I kind of wanted to. I didn't want to, like, I was gonna do it after we record or whatever.
So we don't like ape any of his talking points or any of his jokes or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I can do that subconsciously sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read the letterboxed, like, synopsis too, because there's a lot of good, like, synopsis bits that I'm like, who is this written by? This guy's American, because this gives off the energy of, like, this guy probably wrote all the, like, the IMDb description himself, right?
Yes.
But sounds American, so I don't know why his fucking English sounds so broken. This is just off of me assuming that he wrote this. There's no proof that he was the one, but Letterboxd says, when you're back to the wall, Y-O-U-R, when you're back to the wall, you gotta hit the floor. Pete Weaver has out of the breakdancing world for a long time, and his father, and daughter needs expensive medical treatment. With training assistance from his old breakdancing buddies, he sets his sights on winning a competition that promises enough winnings to save his daughter's life. Then there's a really long description on IMDb that is just, you just gotta read it. It's so wild. But I'll read the last chunk that's just like the summarization of just the. This is not just I should say this is like a description of the whole movie. So I'll just read the last part that's about the dance competition to give you an idea of, like, how it's written, how it sounds. It says, the dance competition starts. After 30 minutes, it is down to two competitors, Iceman and Pete. They go back and forth. The crowd is slowly changing from their Iceman and start screaming for Pete. Then, in nervous retaliation, Iceman's two dance partners come out on the dance floor and join in dancing. So, Pete's dance partners moonwalk and slide out on the dance floor with him to make things even. But one of Pete's dancers gives the DJ his own CD on the way out there. The DJ immediately puts it on. They are all going at it. It is incredible, very physical and intense. Then the last move. Pete runs up Iceman's back, doing a double flip down to a split on the floor, waving out his arms to a stop. The crowd goes nuts. After a nervous and very quiet 5 minutes, you could cut the air with a knife. The judge announces the winner. It is... You will see it at the movie.
Where is this at on IMDb? That's crazy.
If you, like, at the top, you click on, like, plot summary. There's, like, two short ones, and then if you go scroll down, there's a really long one.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, he wrote that because he links www.whitemencandance.com.
Yeah.
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 Oh my God.
And it does a thing that, like, the IFD movies do, where in this synopsis he's, like, saying stuff that I'm like, I don't think that happened in the movie. Like, it says
it reads like in the script.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's like the action in the script.
That could be it. Yeah, because it says his dad is an inventor, a genius that everyone calls Einstein too. Like, does anybody call him that? maybe there's, like, a throwaway line that I missed. I could say that because there was. I was not looking at my phone or anything. I was locked into this movie, but I'm sure that there was still like lines that I missed because people were like mumbling or just the audio was not. This
it was
is
not
like
good. Yeah.
it was a hard movie to like to not pay attention, but just to understand. It's like a fucking fever dream. This is Satoshi Kon like live action movie. It's kind of misspelled. Like there is some fucking weird shit in this movie.
Yeah. And
That's just
all I was
out
thinking
of
the whole
nowhere.
time is I wish some kid on roller skates would come up and hit me in the head with a bat while I'm watching this.
Yeah. 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 Okay. I talked a while. I'll let you go.
It says that he won 4 awards. I don't know what he's talking about. 4 awards where? For what?
I saw some, like the Dove Awards because that's like the Christian one. So I was kind of waiting for like
This
where's the
doesn't
Christian aspect?
feel like
And
a
then it's just,
Christian
like,
movie that much.
It's just that they
There's, like-
throw in like a scene or two where they're like, "Oh, let's pray to God.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you, God,
guess.
for this." That's all you gotta do.
I guess so. Yeah, those suckers will lap up anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're Christians. It's kind of like in the being a sucker's kind of part of the game.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah.
This movie right off the bat is just like unhinged, and it slows down in the middle, which kind of bums me out a little bit. Or I think I don't know where it slows down. The breakdancing scene grinds everything to a halt for me, where I'm just like, let's keep going. Can we get this over with?
Yeah.
But
If you
man,
didn't say it, I was gonna be like, I know where it slows down.
There are some great line reads, and one of which we like paused it to laugh because it was unbelievable. It's when his dad is coming out of the ambulance, and Pete runs up, and they're like, he's like, oh, what's going on? What's happening, son? He's like, blah 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 blah, and his dad says,
I love you, son, but I'm bleeding to death.
we like lost our shit at that. It was so funny. This is like the Room level of line reads sometimes.
Yeah.
I
yes,
will
the
say
Room came to mind a couple times.
I would say it's like a little more competently shot than The Room. I will
Maybe.
give him this. At times, it was shot okay.
Mm-hmm.
At times. There was like a crane shot early on that I was like, oh, okay. There's like motivated movement a little bit for some of these shots. But then for like other scenes, like the scene where he's talking to his dad after he picks up the bologna sandwich and he's like, don't eat that sandwich. Your mom made it 3.5 months ago and just liked the color on it. And he's just like, oh, ha ha ha. Like, does your mom have Alzheimer's? Like, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, he just like.
I think
just
that might be the
like,
implication.
yeah, it just like runs off his back. He's like, oh, okay. That's like a normal thing. That's fine. Like, is your wife insane? Has she lost her mind? But man, some of the shots when he's like talking to his dad, it's like it's so close up on him. It's like unnecessarily close up on his face.
Yeah.
And there's like some shots when he's talking to his wife where for whatever reason it feels like they're doing like the Saving Private Ryan like shaky cam where he's just like having a normal conversation with his wife, but it's got that movement where I'm like, is she about to get like bombed? Is there, like, the way that it's moving, it's just like it gives this underlying anxiety to the scene, and it's like, this is just dialogue. They're just talking to each other. Like, why is it like this?
I think this guy doesn't. The thing that made me think of The Room, other than just the overall like quality and just bizarreness. This is like if Tommy Wiseau tried to do like Magnolia or something, because there's so many like little like character threads, and like it's trying to do like a bunch of different storylines and have all these like different little mini character arcs and stuff. But it was more like in the writing of the like how the main character related to everybody, in so far as like there were bits like where he's like hanging out with his old, with his like breakdancing buddies, the guy, the guy and the girl from, from the old crew. And it's the guy, his two friends are like sitting together, and then he comes up and he takes the girl by the hands, and he's like, come on, let's go do stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Let's
y'all
go.
doing? Come on, hey, chill out. What you doing? Ain't you married, Pete?
It's all right, man.
I don't care. Let's go around the corner.
Yeah, what do you say?
Yo, that ain't cool. Chill out,
It's
y'all.
all right, it's all right.
Yo,
Hey,
Pete.
hey,
Say,
man.
all right.
It's all right, man. Hey, man. We're just playing.
And then he's like, that's why I love you, man. It's like he writes friendships like a guy who's never had one before. Like, he's like, this is how I think it goes on like TV. I've seen TV shows where people are friends and stuff, and they make jokes at each other. And it doesn't help that the main guy, that Peter S. Vinal or Pete Weaver, is like the most rizzless fucking chud I've seen in a long time. Like, oh my God, he's so fucking boring. He is like dictionary definition of like white bread, like middle-aged NPC white guy that no one will ever remember and doesn't make her impression on anyone though. Like,
yeah, that's why he had to write a movie where black people are constantly hugging him and telling him how cool he is.
Exactly.
That's
And then like
he
he does like those weird, when he has like the lady, his friend, like dress him up as like the different like characters who always have like they're like different characters, and yet he kind of like just does the same thing for both of them, where he's like, oh yeah,
yeah,
he's like
yeah,
licking his
really,
teeth
like
and,
it's like, hey, we spent a good amount of money on these prop teeth, so I'm gonna be like licking them and like drawing attention to them constantly in every scene that I'm using them in.
Yeah. And I think it's just to give him an excuse to be like a horny creep, because he's trying to play like, oh, I'm a good, like, I'm a Christian family man, I love my wife and my daughter, and yet like it finds it's one of those things where like all the girls like think that he's hot, like everyone in it secretly thinks he's hot.
All
the
laugh
girls
at
are
his
so
weird
like,
jokes.
Yeah, his jokes, quote
Yes.
unquote, and they're always like so handsy with him. Like the girl when she like, the makeup girl, I noticed she like grabs him by the hands and like leads him into the back room. Or like his assistant at the workplace is like she's like huggy, and she's so like she has like a crush on him and stuff. And then when he's dressed up, he's like, oh yeah, oh, you got nice legs, baby. Oh yeah. Like it's
Yeah.
And also he's not supposed to be drawing attention to himself. Like, why does he have her like dress him up in these weird costumes and play these characters, and then almost get himself kicked out because he's being a creep, until he has to like be like, oh hey, wait, it's me, it's Pete. It's like, you could have done that. You could have done that before.
Yeah.
I hate this guy. I hate him. He sucks.
Well, okay, so we should probably explain then, because the way that this movie moves is wild. So the reason that he's doing all this with the elaborate costumes is because he gets fired in like the most hilarious way ever. So he works at a company that's like an invention company, a tech company,
business.
It's he's kind of a mix of Tommy Wiseau and Neil Breen.
Yeah,
because with all of Neil Breen's shit, it's like everybody works at a place called the company or the business. And what do? They do business there. There's people sitting at computers doing business. And what is it? What do they produce? What do they do? No one really knows, and it's never really explained. But we do get a little bit we see Pete is an inventor like his dad, Einstein
too. Yeah.
Yes. So we learn that Pete's an inventor, and he has this idea he calls it like the drink genie.
Yes.
And it's like this like 3 or 4 ringed little thing that like you're supposed to put your cup in. And he's like, this is going to revolutionize the way that we think about cup holders, I guess, which is a thing that I'm constantly thinking about. Yeah. Is like these cup holders could be so much better optimized. And so one of his coworkers, I think his name is Charlie is like doing the like super obvious like, ooh, he's like kind of sneaking down the hallway and he's like looking in and he's just like over
Wile E. Coyote.
Like, yes, it's like it's very Looney Tunes where he's almost just like like doing that kind of shit, like listening in. And so I think we're to infer that like, oh, he's up to no good. And so then later there's like this business meeting. Is that the one where Pete has to leave, or is he just not there?
He's off. Yeah, he's not even there.
Yeah. And so Charlie has the prototype and is like, hey, this is my new invention. It's going to revolutionize the way that people think about cup holders, and it's going to put us on the map. And then he says,
Pete is trying to steal this from me. He's going to tell you he invented it. I mean, can you believe that? We can't let him steal it. What do you say?
We can put a stop to that right now. He's fired.
Everyone believes him immediately.
Yep.
Pete's friends that we see him go to the bar to, and like they're doing that thing where like everybody's constantly like hugging each other and patting each other on the back, because Pete apparently, like you said, he doesn't know how relationships work, and he writes characters as if he's never had one before. Because it's like, that's what guys do. They go to the bar and then they constantly be like, I love you, man. Huh, bring it in. Ha. And they're constantly touchy-feely with each other. But Pete's friends that was at the bar with him are just like, I can't believe Pete would do something. Like, they believe this guy immediately.
No, I think they're kind of like hesitantly, like I feel like they kind of like maybe exchange glances, like, but they're like, I wouldn't do that. Because it's the other like guy. Big investor guy who's like, that might be the only scene that he's in. He's like, I don't want to see him in here. And then his assistant lady, she like tries to speak up. She's like, oh wait, and then the guy's like, I don't want to hear any thievery or insubordination. And then she just quiets down. It's like, okay, so he told you to be quiet, and you're not gonna say anything. Like, that's it. It's like child logic. It's like, I would believe it if he said that like the girl who played his daughter wrote this movie. Like, oh, he told everyone that it's his, and he said, no take backsies, He called dibs on the invention, so that's it. And then all it takes is for Pete to be like, to like fix it for himself. He's like, hey, dude, I have the patent. It's like, you guys didn't think about that. You didn't think to like check.
You didn't call him. You didn't email
before
him.
You instantly fired Pete without him even being there or it's anything to say his piece. You just instantly fire him. You don't check on a patent, or you don't, see if there's any proof to this guy. Like, ask the guy how it's designed. Like, how did you make this? He's got to know, like, how,
they
the
do
ins and outs,
that eventually.
Eventually.
But I thought it was incredible the way that the boss didn't even think twice about it. He's like, wow, I can't believe that. Well, he's fired. Tell the guards, and then the guard is just like, sorry, man, you've been yanked. He's like, what? He's like, you've been fired. And then Pete's just like, oh, okay. And he just turns around and leaves.
Everything rolls off his shoulders like water. Even like his dad dying, where he gives me, that was my biggest like Neil Breen moment, when he's like, when his dad dies in the hospital, and he's like trying to cry, like he's trying to like emote more than Neil Breen, but like the way that he's like, "Oh, Dad. Oh, I love you so much, Dad. Oh, I'm gonna miss you."
Just like Tom Cruise in Magnolia at the end. You fucking asshole! I hate you.
And like the second his dad dies, you hear the nurse like off camera. She goes, "Slate 9:45, dead."
Dude, we were cracking up. I'm like, say deceased.
Yeah.
Say literally
passed
anything
away,
else.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, this piece of shit's dead. He's gone forever and he's never coming back. He's like, sorry, your dad's in hell. Like, her bedside manner is so bad.
Yeah.
That's my dad. I'm gonna miss you, Mom. I love you, Dad. God, I love you, Dad.
Slated at 9:45 a.m. Dead.
But anyways, he has that little moment where he's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you." And then he like sits down on the ground, puts his head in his hand for like 10 seconds, and then he's like, he's like this, and then he almost has a moment of like, okay, and then he just like gets up and walks out. Like he's good.
See, if that movie was written by Neil Breen, the bedside conversation would be like, "Why did you have 2 heart attacks? I can't believe you had 2 heart attacks."
Yeah. Yeah, and then getting fired, he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then, his wife, I don't know if she ever directly asks him if he's cheating on her. She just kind of like she keeps saying like, "Is there something you want to tell me? Where have you been all night?" Like she's like insinuating, but I don't know if she ever actually like comes right out with it.
He is like the vague posting king. He's so good. She's like the Wojak that's like, I require context enjoyer, and he's just like, I heart vague posting. It's like the whole time he's like, I just need to go somewhere for a couple hours. And she's like, where? And he's like, I just need to go somewhere for a couple hours. It's like, dude, like so many problems in his life could have been solved if he just like spoke honestly instead of like, well, what if I just did an elaborate bit instead? like what if instead of like confronting my boss for being fired, like for no reason unfairly, it's like no, I need to become like a prop comic in order to go in and like confront my boss. I need to trick everybody in the office so I can, I guess, make my way to his office and then like pull my teeth out and be like, gotcha,
Gene
like it's
Parmesan.
me the whole time. Yeah, Gene Parmesan.
And there's even like the part where he's in the car with his friends again, and he's like, I can't tell my wife about this. Like, what'd she think if she found out that I took up dancing again to go? He's like basically laying out the whole thing. He's like, what would she think if she knew that I was dancing to do a dance competition to pay for my daughter's surgery? I mean, she'd flip out. You know how women are. It's like, yeah, much better to keep her in the dark on that so that she thinks that you're sleeping around and cheating on her. That's a much better alternative, because she would flip out if she found out that you were dancing.
She's like,
yeah. She's like, yes, I do know women, and we are like that. Breakdancing is the worst thing that you can do to your wife.
Oh,
especially
if
it's trying to pay for your daughter's surgery. She would hate you.
Yeah. Doing something that you love to try to raise money? Yeah, wow. What are you, gay?
But like, even if he was bad, like even if it was a fool's errand and he was like bad and there was no shot in hell that he was going to even like win, would his wife be mad if the goal was to pay for their daughter's surgery? She's like, are you fucking kidding me? You're going to make me look like such an idiot out there. Let her die. We don't have any alternatives, but I'm not going to stand for you looking like an idiot out there.
She might be mad if she learned that that's what he's doing, and also he lost his job, which I don't think I don't think he tells her that either.
Yep. Yeah.
So he's just going to the gym all day. Yeah.
For him to be like trying to hide that, Yeah. And then
like,
yeah.
It's like the weight of all of these things. His dad dies. his invention patent gets stolen from him. Like his daughter needs a kidney transplant, and he loses his job. It's like, yeah, you can kind of like. There's so many things that you could work with there, I guess. But he fumbles the ball on every single one in terms of like making it coherent at all.
Yeah.
We got a good laugh though when there's like the one scene. So it's like they go out to dinner. And there's like a band that's playing there, and we get to watch like the band play like an entire song uninterrupted. Oh. It's almost
that's
like
the makeup artist lady.
Oh, okay.
Because the first scene that she's in, she's like just apropos of nothing. She's like, "Oh, I just recorded a new song. I'd love for you to hear it." And as soon as that happened, I was like, "She actually made this, and they're going to play the song." And that's sure enough.
That was like her like sweetheart deal for appearing in the movie is like, you're basically going to shoot a music video for my band.
Yeah.
But I think it's after that they like, she's like, "Oh, I don't feel well. I want to go." His wife. And that's because like the makeup lady is like at the end of the song looking at him like she wants to like jump his bones immediately. And I think she notices like his wife is like, "I want to go. I don't feel well."
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
He drives her home, and then when his wife goes into the house, he's like, "I'm gonna go to the gym," and he just leaves her. And then so after that, I don't know if it's directly after that, but his wife's friend, who also basically is like telling her that she's being like an irrational woman about this stuff, which is awesome, great stuff.
Yeah,
she's like, "Okay, I want you to follow him. I don't know if he's cheating, but like I want you to follow him." And so his wife's friend goes to the gym. Wait, back up. Does she stumble upon them on accident at the gym? Because she acts like
maybe she does. Because I think she has like a gym bag or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, so his wife's friend goes to the gym and she sees Pete and like his other female like dance partner, like they do a rep. Well, they're like having a conversation. He's like talking about his wife, and he's just like, "She thinks that I'm doing this, and like, I just, I can't explain it to her." And his friend is like, "You need to go home and take care of business." I think he's like she's like telling him like, "You need to go have sex with your wife now." And so he's like, "Oh, you're right." And then like they hug for like the millionth time in the movie, and she like kisses his cheek. And like right as this happens,
of course,
his wife's friend walks in. And my joke was like, "Oh, is that her husband with a woman his age?" Because like his wife is probably 15 to 20 years younger than him.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, that's classic, like guy who writes, directs, and stars in his own movies. He's going to give himself like a 25-year-old wife.
Yeah.
See, I feel like this movie is front-loaded with like the batshit insane shit, because I think I feel like the movie is like a vehicle to get to the breakdancing, so everything else just has to move at like a breakneck pace. So it's just like, yeah, his dad's dead, yeah, his daughter's sick, yeah, gym montage, breakdancing. That's like the real meat and potatoes. But it's like within that first 10 to 15 minutes, you get like some really great stuff. Like, so when his dad dies, he drops a note out of his hand, and his son reads it. Peter reads it, and I think it's basically one of those like, "Follow your dreams, son," like one of those kind of notes, but it's like typed out, and I'm like, when did he have the time? Did he know that he was going? He's like in between heart attack 1 and 2. Yeah, he's like, he has one of the heart attacks. He's like, "Oh, hold on, let me boot up my my computer and type this letter out for my son because I know I'm going to die." And then it's like right as he hits like enter and print, heart attack 2 hits him.
Yeah. Yep. I had the exact same thought, because he was like, because when he went to the hospital after, that's another thing I was going to mention about that. Like, Pete gets a call at work and he's like, "Oh, really? Okay, I'll be right there." And then he's like, "Sorry, it's family stuff. I gotta go." and then like cut to the ambulance. He's like, Dad, where? Like, like he leaves work so calm, and then he's like, oh my god.
I'll be right there. Okay, bye. Sorry, I gotta go. What? It's family, I'm sorry.
Dad, I love you. You be okay?
But then he's like, I'm sorry I didn't get ice cream with you for the past like 27 years or something like that. Something weird. Like, but they're close. Like, what does that mean? It's not like they have like an estranged relationship. They seem very close. Like,
yeah, I think the only hint of like any sort of estrangement was like his dad wanted him to become an inventor, so maybe he put aside his dream of break dancing.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He did mention that, like, oh, my dad didn't want me to dance, but they still really, it wasn't illustrated as like they seem to have like a good relationship.
Yeah,
like,
he wasn't like the type of guy that's like, no, son, you need to be in the family business. There's no, what is this, like Footloose or something like that? He's like, no son of mine's gonna be a dancer.
Yeah, the character performance and like the way he was written did not support the context or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you could have even had a scene where like, you know, they seem close and they're like chatting up. You know, his dad is giving his weirdly like patriotic speech about how he wants to be an inventor because America is the greatest country on earth or something like that.
I want America to be number one in technology. Number one. That's right. That's a good one.
You know, you could have even had a scene like that where they're like kind of chatting and then he like maybe references his dancing and his dad kind of like gets quiet a little bit and he's like, now son, you know how I feel about that. Mm-hmm. Like give us literally anything. Like, oh, it kind of strikes a chord with them a little bit. Even after all these years, it's still kind of a touchy subject that maybe they don't, they don't talk about it. Like there's basic shit. The other thing that made me laugh though was like where he was reading that note in his car, which like his car was just like outside of a river, like, and there's no parking lot in sight. So I'm like, did you drive to a park and then drive? That's like,
right. Yeah.
And I will reference the Drew Gooden video. He was like, was he gonna drive into that lake? But it was like such a weird location. I'm like, why couldn't he just do that in like the hospital parking lot? Why does he have to drive to like a riverbed? It was so strange.
Yeah, that's right. That's so weird. This like, I will say like, as much as I enjoyed this, I paused it a few times and I was like, it was probably right around there. I paused it, I think, to like grab some food, and I was like, how the fuck is it only 13 minutes into this movie? Like, I just watched it before we got on the call, and it feels like yesterday I started this movie.
It's crazy that it's an hour 46.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I couldn't believe that. I checked the runtime earlier today, and I was like, 80 minutes, right? I'm like, it's got to be something like that. I was like, fucking Jesus.
Yeah. It's because of the breakdancing scene. It's because of the breakdancing scene.
Yes.
That is like a good chunk of this movie.
Yeah.
One of the early observations, though, that I had was that every other like actor is like an actor from a Tim and Eric sketch, but there's just no jokes in this.
Yeah.
They all have that like uncanny weirdness where like I could see them in literally any Tim and Eric sketch.
Sure. Both of his work buddies.
Yes. I'm like, I want these two guys to tell me about a Cinco product.
Yeah. Yeah. That said though, I don't know if anyone was worse than Pete. Again, just like no personality. And then when he tried to, I was like, stop. I was like, go back to having no personality, please. Because every time you try, it's bad. And I don't like it. It's very unsettling to me. Like, again, anytime he tried to make a joke or be like, dude, when he's like the dance competition at the end and he's got like the do-rag on and he's like, there's a part, I don't remember what it is, but there's like a dispute or something like that. And he's like, yo. Hey man, we need to talk this through. And he's like, and there's like another part where I can't remember what he says to his friend, his like dance buddy. But he's like, man, you wildin' with that, or something along those lines. He's like, he starts speaking in it. That's what he is like. It's like as he trains with like his breakdancing more and more, he also like slips into Ebonics like more and more. Because that's part of it, you know.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to be like, shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. His fit at the end of the movie is insane. But what it made me think of the most is, and I'm sending this to you. I'm sending this in the chat. But it made me think of Tobin Bell in, I think, Saw 7.
Yes.
He's wearing like the hoodie in the backwards cap.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's supposed to be him younger, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like a flashback, but it's just like, it's like in Mad Men whenever they show a flashback to show like young Don Draper, and it's just like John Hamm with like slightly longer hair, but it's like they don't do anything else to like try to de-age him.
I think it's the one with Sean Patrick Flannery, which might be the 7th one. Because that's where, because he's going to like his book signing, because he's the one who says that he was like a survivor of the Jigsaw thing, and he's like, I love your work. Big Jigsaw vibes. And then like, I don't know how to like phrase this properly, because I will say he can dance better than me. But then, like, you get to the end, and it's like you see it. I want to say, because I took another like little pause break right before the dance scene, and it was like 33 minutes left in the movie, and that is most of the rest of the runtime, which is fucking crazy.
Yes,
like maybe even if it's 10 minutes max is what comprises not dancing.
Pushing
that is
it.
Absolute maximum. So it's nearly a half an hour. But anyways, you see just person after person go up and dance, and they're doing all this cool shit, they're cool moves. And then he comes up and he's just like, he does some like pop and locks, like doesn't even like bend his spine really. He just does a little bit of pop and lock, and everybody's like, Peter. Nobody else gets chance. It's just him for just going like doing this a little bit. Yeah, and they're doing it ironically. Yeah. And then some I'm like, that's so. Yeah, they're the last two, Iceman and their sweet crew. At least, like, they didn't give them the victory. Like, that would have been even more unbelievable. Like, I'm glad that Iceman won, because I'd be like, yeah, there's no suspension of disbelief in thinking that Pete would win this dance competition.
Yeah. At the end of that, when that happened, I was like, white men can't dance.
Yeah.
It's true. That was delivered in this movie.
Yep. There was one guy I really liked where he just like got on like all fours, and then he just like vibrated across the floor. It was really funny. There was a couple moves where I was like, again, I'm like, these guys are talented, but it looked funny. That was probably my favorite move, though. It was just and then I also like that his friend, earlier on, like one of their training scenes, he's like, look, I'll show you this. They're each showing him their moves, and he's like, this is what you gotta do. You gotta pretend that you're grabbing something, and then you gotta move around. And then he does it in the final dance. I was like, he's doing it. He's doing the mime thing. That's basically what. It's not really breakdancing. He's just doing a mime act. That's all it was.
Yeah, this is very much like, you can tell that this is written by Pete Vinal, because I think at the time in this movie, this came out in 2012, he looks like he's probably in his mid to late 50s at that point.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You could tell that like with like that little piece of choreography specifically, it's like, oh yeah, this is like a guy who like his entire like view of like hip hop and breakdancing culture like is from 1987. Because it's just like, this is like a very much like, that's like something you'd see in like an MC Hammer video maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's like, it's such a dated, it's like the type of rap that like Donald Glover makes fun of in his stand-up special. That's like, I went to the hat store, like that Grandmaster Flash style, like old school hip hop stuff.
Yeah, like 100%. This is like when I saw him like actually, because you get a little bit of it, you get little snippets of it where, like earlier on, you see like there's people like dancing on the street, and then he kind of like steps in and he just kind of like does a little pop and lock. I was like, oh, okay, so he can actually. I was like, until that point, I was like not sure. I was like, oh, so he actually can dance. Like he probably actually was a dancer, and now this is the case where he's like, I have money, I'm gonna write a movie purely for the excuse to show off that I can dance.
Yeah,
you know. And I will be the least impressive dancer that you will see in this movie, but I can dance better than you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, this is like, yeah, the classic, you know, pushing 60s like middle-aged vanity project where you're like, I should make a movie about how cool I am and how like awesome black people think that I am, and how funny every woman in their 20s and 30s like thinks that I am.
Yep.
But also it falls into that other trap where it's like he has to make himself like a Christ-like figure in like almost every scenario, even though he's kind of a scumbag in a lot of this. Like early on when it's like showing him at his office, he's like going in and like one of his friends is like, oh, hey, Pete, can you grab the fire extinguisher? The fire marshal says that it's expired. And so he grabs the fire extinguisher. And then like right as he does it, he like looks over and like I don't know is it the makeup lady? Who is it? Is it just some woman in his office?
I think it's just some lady.
She like she does that thing where she looks at him and she overly does it, like whips her hair around like that, and he does like a cartoon pratfall almost. He goes,
and then he comes over his face,
and then it's implied that when he gets up, he's covered in like the fire extinguisher foam, and then his coworker's just like laughing his ass off at it, and it's like, dude, I mean, this is whatever. This is like a nitpick. Like, who cares? It's a poo poo pee pee comedy movie, whatever. But it's like, if you were to like unload a fire extinguisher, I think people's eyes would be burning. Like the chemicals in that shit would be all up in the air. Like that's the kind of thing where it's like you basically evacuate the office for a day, like while they have to clean that shit up. But everyone's just like, oh, it's the funniest thing in the world. It's like, come get it, because the hot lady.
Yeah.
It's like for someone who like tries to portray himself as like doing everything for his like wife and his family, he's kind of a horny scumbag for a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it's like it's played as jokes, but like or it's either jokes or like, it's the women that want him, you know. Yeah, true.
I mean, again, that's very, religious grifters, they're all like weird sex pests, so that fits in line too. Although I don't even know if he is like a Christian grifter. I think he's just like, I can probably get some funding from some Christians if I like throw some God refs in here,
Yeah, like film a few scenes where, like, I don't know, yeah.
Please save my daughter, please. Please, Jesus. I know you died on the cross for me. Can you please save my daughter?
Age 33, dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, the Roman centurion who like stabs him in the side.
Yeah.
He's, like, dead. To like, yeah, Mother Mary like weeping next to him.
Dead. Another bit that like seemed completely insane to me. It was like it's kind of a small detail, but when they're talking about the dance competition, they're like, this is like the final round in like the finals of an international, like national series, and it's like, how was Pete and his crew able to even enter? It said this is the finals.
Yeah,
that's sort of like implied that there were other rounds. Like you don't just get to show up and be like, hi, I'd like to enter the finals of this competition. Yeah. Like that's not how that works.
Yeah, because
otherwise it's like
it
an unforced error. You didn't have to write it like that.
Yeah, it could have been so. This is the thing, is like it could have felt like a more like the whole dance competition thing could have felt like a more natural thing if they didn't like clog up the time with just the super long dance thing at the end, but also like I like in the end, the whole work subplot could have been completely trimmed out of this.
Yeah,
with like the guy like stealing his patent and whatever. I mean, it led to some funny stuff, so I guess there's that. But yeah, and just make it a more of a natural, like, oh, now we got to go to this meet up, and then oh, and if we get this, then we make it to the finals. And
yeah, exactly. Easy. You can split up the last 30 minutes of the movie by having the first round, semifinals, finals. So that way you disperse all of the breakdancing scenes throughout the movie. So that way when it builds up to him, you could even make, because like the first round he's just like, he's kind of only really doing like the simple shit. That could be the first round, and it's like, oh damn, we barely made it by. Second round, he gets a little bit better because he's been working out and he's like kind of working harder towards it. And then for the finals, that's when he does like the cooler moves, and it's just like, oh yeah, you can see all of the hard work that he's been doing, like going to the gym, finally paying off near the end. But instead, for whatever reason, they cram it into the end for 30 minutes of just uninterrupted breakdancing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it could have been better. Yeah, if it was broken up, it's like, it's kind of boring. It's boring. It's not shot very interestingly, but, it's cool. I think breakdancing looks cool. A lot of what most of those guys doing is cool. But yeah, just like it hit a point where it's like, okay, like there's a couple minutes of it where I was like, okay, they could get past this, but 5 minutes or so, I was like, all right, I was okay. They're starting to, I got it. This is cool, but we can move on. I haven't seen any of the main characters dance yet, so how long is this going to be? And then like, oh, literally like everybody we see on the floor is going to get a chance to dance. And that was probably why. That's probably why they did it like that, because they needed extras. So they were like, hey, if you come and you be an extra for us, we'll feature, you'll get a spot. So that was probably like part of with the one girl getting her song. Because I will say, working on like, I would say movies of at least this budget and caliber I've worked on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's can be hard to find extras. Like, I've been in ones where we struggled to find extras, so there had to have been some little deal that they cut
incentives to be like, oh hey, if you come out here for a day and break dance, like we're basically giving you like a highlight reel of your skills.
Yeah.
But as a result, we do get to see the patent stealer get humiliated on the news.
Yes. Yeah. I love that it's all like super public, and then they're like, and you're gonna work in the mail room, and then it plays like the funny music and everybody's like laughing at him. It's like, yeah, fuck you, mail workers. Pieces of shit.
Pieces of shit.
A little going back. Another thing I noted, and I was like waiting for it. So I think it's after the scene where where his work buddies take him to the bar that one time, which is going back into that real quick too. They like, no, you need to go out. You need to socialize a little bit. So they take him to the bar, and like they're there for a minute, and then he sees the guys breakdancing, and he just goes in there and does a little whoop, and then they're like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He's like, "No, never mind." He's like, "Forget about it." He's like, "No, I don't want to buy." Like,
Ellis, what in the world? Yo, old man, come on, let's go. I'll battle you right now.
No,
Me and you, kid. What?
Don't
what?
hurt him. No, I can't battle you, man.
you went there because you
Yeah.
wanted the interaction, you wanted the attention. But anyways, they like almost instantly get into a fight, and then his friends have to like drag him out of there. And then he's like, "Hey man, that was really good. You're right. I think I did need this." If I was his friends, I'd be like, yeah, maybe he should take a break from society for a little bit. Maybe he's like a little unstable right now." But then anyways, then he drops the thing that his my daughter's sick, and we don't have enough money to cover it. And then his friend, who is in like a lower position than him at work, is like the younger guy. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I mean," he's like, I got like 3,500 in my savings. He's like, "I can, you can have that if you want it. That's all I have, but it's yours." And then you're just like lingering, waiting for the boss to say something. And he's finally like, "Oh, I can cut you a loan for $6,500. And he's like, "Sorry, wish I could do more." and there's no questioning of it. He's like, "Oh yeah, that'd be great. Please, sir."
Yeah, I'd love a loan. I love debt.
Yeah. Of 65, like that guy could probably just pay for the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
even if he's like, fine, put me down on a loan for, $50,000 or whatever. I want to save my daughter's life, please.
Right.
And it's never questioned either. Like that's never like a point of contention. It's just like, yeah, no, of course. He earned all that money. He shouldn't have to give that away. Why do a favor for a friend?
Yeah, exactly. And then we learned that the entire thing was like inconsequential.
Mm-hmm. Because Iceman was cool.
Well, but also that like they get that phone call at like 11 o'clock at night.
Right, immediately
basically
after.
saying like, "Hey, did your loser husband just like lose a dance competition but want a check out of pity? Well, anyway, you're approved for like what is it? It's like a miracle children's grant or something like that, where like they're like, "Yeah, we'll cover the entire process and we'll get your daughter a kidney."
Why did they do that? Like, why did they do both things?
And
do one or the other. Have him lose the competition, and then they're like, "Oh fuck, now we're fucked," and then they get the call. Or have him, the guy Iceman give him the money, and then they don't get a call. It's just so weird that they decided to do both things.
Yeah. And then he goes to give them the check back to Iceman, and he's just like, "No, man, we're good."
Yeah.
And then he's like,
"Really?
Pay it forward to the next person," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't even give the check to like his friends that like trained him up, like basically did like unpaid labor to like get him like like took him to the gym, gave him moves, like basically like got him to where he was to like get that far into the competition.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Oh, okay, like I'll just give this money to like, I don't know, like a charity or something," which it's like, I guess it's still like a noble thing to do, but it's just very funny that the other two people that basically did a bunch of unpaid work were just like, "Yeah, man, that's the right thing. We don't need any of that. Like, that's not like $10,000 isn't like a life-changing amount of money for me at all."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I thought that too. Or like, because then like last minute they bring in they have to like fill up their crew, so they bring in like the 2 extra guys. Like those guys were like, they didn't even have like the personal relationship with them. They just kind of did it. And maybe it's just like, they did it for the love of the dance, right?
Yeah,
but still, it's like if you have that windfall and you're like, "Oh, hey, we got the money, and I don't need it anymore, so yeah, thanks for helping." Like could have done that, but
The end of the movie is like those two guys like knifing Peter to death and taking the money.
Yeah.
She gets the kidney transplant but loses her father in the process.
In fact, I wonder because I had the thought earlier, but now thinking about how like Iceman like, you know, turns out to be like cool at the end or whatever. But I know like the rival's name is Iceman, and then like whenever he's out and or whatever, he's wearing that cool like airman's jacket with like all the patches on it. I was like, are they doing Top Gun? Is that like what they're going for here?
Oh my god.
They needed to have that at the end when he's like when they're surrounded by the crowd and he's like, no, you can have the money, you know, you need it. And then he's like, you know, you can be my wingman anytime.
Yeah,
That's
yes. Apparently one of the costumes that he did, like speaking of like references to other things, there's like a scant amount of trivia in the IMDb trivia. But apparently it says when Pete sneaks into work a second time, he dresses up as and impersonates Dr. Kelp from the 1963 comedy The Nutty Professor.
That's funny. As soon as he came out, I was like, oh, he's Jerry Lewis. Okay.
That reference was completely lost on me. I've never seen that. But then it's like it is referenced a second time when he does the dream sequence when his arms get stretched out. Apparently that's also in the Nutty Professor.
Yep. Yeah, there's a part where he does that same thing. Yeah. That was weird. And then he gets up screaming from his nightmare and his wife is like, "What's wrong with you?" And then he's just like
and that yeah.
I forgot in the lead up to that scene, the second disguise scene, he's like with his friends and he's like, I gotta try to get into work again. And then his friend's like, he's like, maybe you should dress up like a brother this time. And I was like, oh my god, please do blackface. I was like, please.
Yeah, that would have been insane.
Yeah. And then his friend was like, she's like, oh, or maybe you should go as a woman. And then I was like, please be a cross-dresser with blackface in this next scene. That would be amazing. But nah.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah. Much like this movie. You ready for the judgment call?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Go ahead.
I'll go first. I'm giving this the lightest of spuds. I'm gonna give it a spud.
Okay.
Mostly for a lot of the stuff at the beginning that's just like wacky and insane, but like not funny in the way that the director wants it to be. It's funny in that like incomprehensibly bad way that like The Room is. And I would say for the first like maybe 30 or 40-ish minutes of that, there's a good amount of that. But like I said, the breakdancing scene just like kind of grinds everything to a halt, and just the decisions after that, it's so baffling. But we didn't even talk about the ending, which the frame narrative, the frame narrative of like the lady painting, and then at the end of the movie, it's like he throws his shoes out the window, and like the kid that he saw on the street happens to be like walking in his backyard, and he sees the shoes. It's like he hucked the shoes at him, and he's like, "Oh wow!" And the guy's like, "Hey man, like you can have those shoes. They're magic shoes if you believe." And the kid's like, "Oh cool." And then he turns around and his wife is like his wife was like giving him the eyes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, well, like, and then I don't know if we really talked about this too much either, but like his attempts at comedy, I feel like he was doing like Jim Carrey type shit, where he was like kind of like doing cartoonish like faces. Yeah. And then it's like his wife has like one of the prosthetic teeth and with like the big fake gold tooth, and then the paint brushes box him in and paint him over, and then we're back at the frame narrative of this woman in a field painting.
And he's like reacting to it too. It's not just
he's
like he's like my existence is coming to an end.
Yeah. Here lies Peter. He never scored. And then she's like, I wonder what I'll paint next time. And then it freeze frames, credits roll.
Yep.
And you're
Yeah.
Like, so stuff like that is like, that's what makes this movie spuddy for me. And I think overall I had like a more fun time with it than I didn't. And there were a few of those lines that, like, if it gets me to pause the movie because I'm laughing too hard, there's something there. There's something there.
Yeah.
So I'm going with a light spud on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with a spud too. I think it's still like half light, half solid. I think I'm like a little more than you, because I felt like it was more consistently entertaining like throughout. But yeah, it's just that the dance sequence is like fucking it like, really, if you cut that down, just do like 5 minutes, this would be really solid. This would be a really solid spud for me, I think. But that just really hurt. Yeah, there were multiple times where I was just like, what the fuck is happening? And like I was laughing at just a bunch of different like aspects or like elements of it. It was all great. Yeah, so I would say, but like thinking of it in the context, like, you know, watching it with some friends, yeah, it'd be so great for that. And then when he gets to the dance sequence, just mute it and put on some like Fatboy Slim or something, or Prodigy or something like that, you know? Because that was the other thing, is like, it's not just that it's a long dance sequence, it's that it is basically just a static wide shot, like no attempt at cinematography to like make it more dynamic or interesting. And then the music is like just basic, you know, Casio keyboard like rap beat too, just like boom chim boom chim boom chim boom chim, yeah, boom chim boom chim, yeah. Just on fucking repeat for 30 minutes. It changes like a couple times.
In the credits, like, it was like credits for one song, and then it was like a music library website. That was like the music credits for this.
That makes sense. Makes total sense. Yeah, I think you like they could have done something. First thing is cut down the dance sequence, but next is just like get better music or shoot it more interestingly. Have some cuts or something.
Yeah.
We didn't get that. So yeah, that sucks, but otherwise pretty decent, light to decent spud.
Feels like a while since we've had a spud. Did we have one during the March Badness?
Yeah, we did, for sure.
Oh,
because that's why I picked underground comedy for the last one, because I was like, oh, we're doing too good.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
We did I don't know. I can't remember these already. I finished The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is the second spin-off show, the Game of Thrones spin-off show.
Okay.
They did
For
House
a
of the
second, I
Dragon.
thought you were about to talk about the Daily Wire series.
Oh no,
the
no, I know what you're
Pendragon
talking
Chronicles or whatever that's called.
I
was like, wait.
Pendragon Cycle or something like that. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is so it's like, because he's done, aside from A Song of Ice and Fire, which is like the core like Game of Thrones book line, he's done other books. Like House of the Dragon is based on Blood and Fire, So that's just based on one book. And then Night of the Seven Kingdoms is based on a trilogy called Dunk and Egg. It was really good. My interest was piqued when I heard about the I think it was the second to last episode, In the Name of the Mother, got a perfect score on IMDb. I don't know if you heard about any of this drama with Breaking Bad fans where
did it unseat Ozymandias?
Well, yeah, that was the thing. It was like, because up to this point, Ozymandias in Breaking Bad, the Breaking Bad episode was the only, I think the story is that it was the only episode of a TV show that had a perfect 10 out of 10 score on IMDb. And then In the Name of the Mother from this show comes along and it gets a 10 out of 10. So then a bunch of, but what, I remember this being in high school and like thinking like when people were like hate bombing The Dark Knight because it was like the #1 movie when it came out. But that always happens. Movies come out and they're always
it's not
like
better than The Shawshank Redemption.
Right. But that always happens with new releases where they'll be they're weighted like really high, and then over time they kind of they kind of settle into
it's
a
the
more
new
appropriate
thing.
Position.
When if you had polled me in 2008 after I got out of seeing The Dark Knight what the best movie of all time was, I'm going to be like, I don't know, probably The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too, yeah. So I remember that like being a thing, but like I cared about it then when I was like in high school. But like the fact that there's people who are like Breaking Bad fans, I'm like, hey, come on, you're a Breaking Bad fan. You're probably like in your 30s or maybe your 20s.
Yeah.
It's not like kids doing this. So these are like grown adults being like, no, it can't have the same score as my episode of TV.
They're smashing action figures back and forth. Like that's how they view TV shows.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah. And then so they like tried to like review bomb the Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode, but then of course that came back and people were bombing Ozymandias, so now neither of them have a perfect score. So now there's no episode of TV that has a perfect score. And last I checked, they were both tied still. They were both at 9.5, which is very good, but I just think it's kind of funny that they're still tied. But anyways, yeah, I really, really like the show. I was intrigued by that, and also by seeing that it was 6 episodes that were all sub 30 minutes, which is great.
Wow, that is like unheard of.
I was pleasantly, it was like refreshing to see it because it has a way different tone than Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, where those are so serious and dark and like everybody dies every other episode, and it's a very like sad. They're just very dour shows, with a lot of doom and gloom, and they're mostly great. Fingers crossed that House of the Dragon doesn't go the way of Game of Thrones, because so far it's great. So far I love House of the Dragon. But this is like, it's very light. It's almost like it still has like people are still saying the F word, and there's like, I don't know if there's been any boobies, but it's still like adult, like you couldn't show it to a child. Right. But it is almost like a children's book version of Westeros, where it's just lighter. The main guy is just like a good guy, and most characters in this world are very like muddled and cloud, especially House of the Dragon. It's like there's not really like a good person in that show. It's kind of like fantasy Succession, where just kind of like everybody sucks, and they're all fighting to be in charge. This guy's just like, I just want to be a knight. Like knights are supposed to protect people, they're supposed to serve good and all that, and he's just like, he is like that pure-hearted, and he has his squire is named Egg, this little bald boy, and they have like a cute relationship and stuff, and this season is mostly about him just wanting to take part in a jousting tournament. Like that's the bulk of the season, and then some stuff happens later on where he like attacks a prince because he's like beating a woman or something like that. So he's like, you know, I'm just trying to do good. So he steps in and he beats up the prince, and then the prince is like, well, now he needs to die. So then they have to do like a little combat thing.
Right.
But yeah, just really good characters. And again, it's cool seeing this world just in a different light, in a different tone, and just something that's not taking itself as seriously as the other ones.
Yeah.
As much as I enjoy those, it's just kind of cool to see that I'm glad they're not just doing the same thing again. Like having House of the Dragon to like kind of take place of Game of Thrones, like that, something more similar in style and tone to that is cool. But now it's like, okay, now we have House of the Dragon, so let's do something a little different, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I really like it.
Yeah, I'll watch Game of Thrones one of these days. That's like a big blind spot in like you know, watching a lot of like classic, you know, that era of like prestige TV. Same with like The Wire, though I have started The Wire, but like Game of Thrones and The Wire are like two of the big shows like of that milieu that like I haven't really watched all of. We're almost done with the third season of Mad Men, so like we're getting through that one, but yeah, a lot of shows. So many shows to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I've still got a few too. Yeah, I feel like I probably said as much to you before, but it is like a hard one to recommend because like season 1 through 4 is like some of the best TV. It's so good. It's so strong. And then and it is kind of like a steady decline. It's not like after 4 it's like complete shit. Like 5 is like good, but it was definitely like okay, it's missing some of the juice from the first few seasons. And then those wrap up ones are, I don't know, I didn't even hate season 6 as much as most people did. It was kind of just like another season 5 to me, where I was like, yeah, not as good, but still decent. But then 7, it just completely falls apart. Really sucks. And my hope with House of the Dragon and Night of the Seven Kingdoms is that like they're both, you know, because the core issue with Game of Thrones, with the Song of Ice and Fire, is that like it's not finished. He still hasn't written the final books. Yeah. So they had to go off of like either cliff notes or like, you know, they had to like get notes from George R.R. Martin and just make it up themselves. But House of the Dragon, like I said, is one book and it's all done. So it's all there. And then Night of the Seven Kingdoms is this trilogy of books. It's all written. So all of the material is there. So they're not going to have to,
unless they go way off, like the books.
Unless they go way off. But I don't know if I don't know if you can too much. I should say they're both prequels. House of the Dragon takes place 200 years before Game of Thrones. And then A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is 100 years before Game of Thrones. So it's right in the middle. It's 100 years after House of the Dragon and then 100 before.
Is there stuff in them that like informs Game of Thrones? Like, are there things that like maybe certain family lineages, like certain things that happen that might like get referenced later? Okay.
Yeah, like like if you pay attention and like know the lore, know the names of the people.
Yeah, like family names.
They have referenced like characters in House of the Dragon. Not so much Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because again, which is something that I like about it, is like the main character is just a guy. He's not like an important figure. He's just like a dude. Everybody in the other ones is like their houses, like the big houses, you know, of the Seven Kingdoms. So they're all like names that everybody knows. They're very important people. But you know, like Daenerys Targaryen is. Yeah. Emilia Clarke. So House of the Dragon is the Targaryens. Like that's her family 200 years in the past. And there were many steps that led. They're basically the family that they ran Westeros. They ran the Seven Kingdoms for like hundreds of years. I don't remember how many years it's supposed to be. But they are the monarchy through the kingdom, like from the uniting of the Seven Kingdoms down to what's called Robert's Rebellion, which happens, that kind of sort of kicks off Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So her family was in charge basically until she was a baby. And so that's like a story of a generation or two of her family is that. And then, yeah, there's, of course, because they were still in charge then, there are Targaryens in Night of the Seven Kingdoms too, because they're still in charge. So they're not main characters, but they're in it.
Right.
So yeah, not as ingrained as like, you know, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, but yeah, there's traces.
House Salamanca.
There is one,
House Salamanca.
Yeah, yeah, kinda. Yeah. There is one character, I don't remember if he was in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but he's in Game of Thrones. So there is one, because he's like very old in Game of Thrones. So in House of the Dragon, he's like a little kid.
I got
So there is one direct tie. So next episode, we're gonna have another guest, a new person. So I randomly, I think it was just a random YouTube algorithm pull for a podcast, another podcast that started recently. They're on like episode like 11 or 12, which I remember at the time thinking like, oh man, we've been doing this for a while, but now it's like, that's a fraction of what we've done now. But I remember by the time we were at like episode 11, 12, that was like Suicide Squad, and I was like, man, we've been doing this so long. But anyways, the title of their show is No Country for Old Films, and I told Nick, and he seemed to get the connection to ours. If you correlate the two movies in the way that I do, I was like, well, we have to do a crossover with these guys. We got So I reached out and they got back. So one of the two guys, Regs, is gonna guest on our show. And he kind of did a sort of like, oh, we could talk about this or we could talk about this. And I was like, well, one kind of works for the main chat, and then the other one he said is like a new movie that's on Netflix.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that could sort of be our post chat. So he's kind of double rec, I guess. Like that's the idea is to watch both, I guess. So I'll start with the main one. Is from 1996, directed by Robert Rodriguez, from Dusk Till Dawn. Pretty cool. I haven't seen that in a while, so that's a very good pull. Happy with that. And then the new one, the other one, is from 2026, directed by Baltazar Kormakur, Apex. He said it's set in Australia, and he's Australian, so that was he mentioned that when he
I gotcha.
Like, okay. I wondered if that had something to do with it. So yeah, watch them. You don't want to be spoiled. These episodes come out on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. EST on YouTube in video form, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more in audio form. We also have social pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And with all that said, that was fun. I wonder what I'll draw next. I'm TJ, and with me as always.
As always, I love you, but I'm bleeding to death. and I am Nick.
And that. Oh no!
Wait, hold on. What do you? Yeah. All right. Well, TJ's gone. I just got to do what my heart tells me, and that is.
Wait. Wait, I'm gonna I'm gonna do my move. I'm gonna do my move.
Hell yeah.
I mean, do it right at all.
What an ending.